Oh, just a second.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the FPL Banger Show. My name is Siva. I'm joined by Sam. GW29 Sam. 4 matches. This should take us what? 5 minutes tops?
Has there ever been a game week with this little matches? Because I feel like there have been blank game weeks, but none of it this bad.
I mean, blank game weeks. I don't recall one being this bad. I also don't recall one where the quality of fixtures are so meh, right? This is just not a fun double game week, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a blank game week.
Yeah. It's not a fun game week at all.
But, because since we have nothing else to talk about, I thought let's dedicate 1 hour to celebrating my decision to captain Antoine Semenyo in a double game week. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, applause.
Hats off to you, Siva. Very, very good. Ballsy move, I would say. But actually not that ballsy because he's nailed. All you need to do was just not care about EO, which I always have advocated in this show. And I'm glad you finally listened to me, Siva.
Let's be very clear, mate. I knew he was nailed. That doesn't mean everybody else did. Okay, a lot of people didn't believe he was nailed. And then a lot of people just couldn't, get around the concept of how could you possibly captain a 4.5 million forward, and everybody wanted to captain Solanke instead. So
yeah, I mean, Solanke also, if that first match, if everything went well, that first match, he would have a big call, What is it? Did he have like 2 goals disallowed or something, missed the pen and like all
goal
sorts of
disallowed
stuff.
and missed the pen. And that's,
Yeah.
that's why the Semenyo captaincy is like FPL perfection, right? Because I needed a lot of luck, right? I needed a guy who is on pens, nail 90 minutes to miss the pen, then to have a goal chalked out for handball, which is like the harshest handball. And then even in the game where he hauls, Semenyo is the guy who gets the bonus, gets this. And at halftime of Luton Bournemouth, it was 3-0, right, to Luton.
Yeah.
And
what a match, man. It's insane.
Epic comeback. Semenyo leads the comeback. Yeah, so hats off to me. And all sort of credit aside, the best thing about it is that's really that's what FPL all about, right? It's about picking. First of all, it's about investing yourself in a double game week that nobody cares about, right? You go tell your friends, I'm really interested in FPL this year because Bournemouth and Luton have a double. Nobody cares. And then you tell them that you've got this player who, they have never heard of. I don't think any of us had heard of Antoine Semenyo 3 weeks ago, except for you and me, Sam, because we watched the games.
Yeah.
And then
Semenyo,
Zabarni's first ever goal in English football. It's his third ever goal in professional football, mate.
It was insane. I know a lot of people wanted to go for, I want to say Kirkis, right? They were like, okay, he has better expected attacking threat, I guess, because Zabarni has never scored a goal in his entire Premier League career. Lo and behold, in the double game week. Sometimes fortune just favors the ball,
No. Sometimes I believe players, they look at the FPL team and they realize this week is a double game week, man. This means something. I'm going on because double game week defenders, right? We know like Charlie Taylor a few years ago, Matthew Lowton, the halls come when it's a double. Yep. Bruno, right? Yeah.
Bruno.
Double game week Bruno.
Unless, yeah, okay. So I think because you're talking about defenders, I was thinking is there a defender named Bruno?
Based on his attacking returns, mate, I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, okay. So enough credit. Fun game week. So now we come to something a little less interesting. I take it we're both on free hit, right?
I'm not on free hit. I've committed to the path of non-free hit a few weeks back and call it sunk cost fallacy, but I've decided to just stick with it and just continue the plan and I think there is logic for both, And it'll be an interesting point because you are free hitting, I'm not. So I'll give you my points on why I'm not. Because I've already planned for it. So half of the people you want to get on free hit are already in my team.
But you're thinking about the average, normal template guy. I am
basically
the new Maverick.
Yeah. If you free hit, you have opportunities to go for differentials. That's what I would say. Like you could bring in, I don't know, Leon Bailey, who not many people have. Kudus. Okay, we'll go through the players later. But what I'm saying is that you can see it both ways. I'm looking at my team right now, and if I were to free hit, granted, I don't have that many players playing this week, but I have all the key guys. I have Sun. I'm gonna bring in Madison. I have Bowen. I'm gonna have Watkins, Morris, Doughty, Reguilon, Emerson. So if I free hit, I could probably bring in maybe another 2 or 3 so-called quality players in. I don't know. I think I will save my free hit for a future time. I don't know when that will be, but yeah, I think I'm happy moving like this. But I think the key thing with whatever decision you make is that you just gotta own it. I think just make peace, bro, with whatever decision you make.
I like that. A bit of spirituality to our. I mean, okay. What number? Maybe you don't want to put a number on it, right? But what number of players would you be comfortable going into this game week with?
I would say it's not so much about the number; it's who you have. You have a big number, but they're all like 5 defenders who probably would not score anything. Then yeah, but if you already have Sun, you're gonna get Madison, you have Bowen, you have Morris, you have Doughty, you have Watkins, you got Douglas Luiz. Like these are the key guys that most people would have, Then I think you can just do without, like just with that. How many did I mention? 6, 7 players.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, because you've covered like the key guys, I guess.
I guess the issue that you have without free hit is your margin for error, right? And your margin for sort of risk is really minimal now. So you mentioned Emerson and Watkins, right? So Emerson you already own, and he's doubtful according to Moyes. Late call will be made. Didn't play in the Europa League.
Correct. Yeah.
And then Watkins. I mean, okay, so you are I guess you're one of the lucky few who doesn't have Watkins. But for most people listening to this will have Watkins in their current team, and they have to, they're not free hitting. They have a big call.
Lucky few, except for the fact that I missed out on like 100 points the past few game weeks. But yeah,
minor details.
Aside from that, I guess I'm lucky.
Minor details. Let's not get caught up in the fine print. But yeah, so Watkins now a doubt, and Emery.
It's all about the present and future.
We look forward, mate. So
Watkins injured.
Watkins injured, and you're not going to get a further update. Emery said it's a wait and see, basically. So what do? You're not in free hit. Do you still bring in Watkins? Because I would find that very hard to do.
I'm honestly not that sure. I'll see. So if I don't bring in Watkins, I save on the -4 and just going with even one less player. I'm tanking this week because I think that even if you free hit, the potential for points, the ceiling is kind of low looking at the quality of matches. There's only a few players that I would kind of reasonably expect to score points, as a 1 week punt.
Okay. So that's where you're coming from. So let me try and convince you otherwise, because I definitely started off at that point. And I know a few weeks ago I said, no way would I go for free hit 29, but I've come along to it, partially because it helped me attack Bournemouth last week. But I'll tell you why I think it's worth considering. So let's talk about some players who you don't have and most people won't have, who I think make a free hit 29 worth it. Let's go fixture by fixture, right? We got 4 fixtures. Or should we go position? Let's go position. Okay. That's forwards, right? That's the big one. Okay. So straight up, okay, if we forget Watkins, since Watkins is doubtful, you don't have Ivan Toney. Nobody has Ivan Toney.
I sold Ivan Toney.
Yeah, so did I, because he was
like 2 weeks ago, because he was kind of terrible.
Yeah, I mean that's putting it politely, man. He was shit. But yeah, so yes, okay, but it's all about fixtures, right? Brentford had a difficult run, and I think both of us invested hoping to get to 29 and get an extra player. Now they've got, because they played. Let's look at who they played in this run where he was terrible. They played Liverpool, City, Arsenal, and Chelsea in their 4 of their last 5. So fair enough, he was blanking. Before that, he scored against Liverpool and scored against Wolves, and a 10-pointer against Spurs, 8-pointer against Forest in 21. Now he's back to playing one of the second worst team in the division, right? He's away at Burnley. Burnley don't keep clean sheets. They can't defend. I mean, one of the defenders is literally named Asignon. Okay, it's like.
Okay.
I mean, I think this is an easy one for you, right? Like for me, how can you not have a Brentford attacker this week?
On the free hit, I will go Wissa over Tony.
But you see, on a free hit, you can get both.
You can, I guess, yeah. Assuming Watkins will be out and stuff like that, then you have another space, yeah.
You don't need to assume Watkins is out, mate. You just need to have something called cojones, right? And just believe that Johan Wissa, who has scored, 4 in a row now, is gonna do better against Burnley than 3 in a row. He's gonna do better at Burnley than Watkins is gonna do away at West Ham.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ivan Toney, I think you want him. I think you want Johan Wissa. I'm surprised you don't, because this is like a perfect free hit.
Even if I was on free hit, I would not get Ivan Toney. I would go for Wissa and just be okay with that.
Now you're bringing in past experience of owning Toney. Because you and I have owned Toney the last 2 weeks and he kept blanking. You're bringing that back to you. You're letting that cloud your judgment here. On paper, Ivan Toney against second worst team in the division. This is like a no-brainer, mate.
Maybe. I don't know. Brentford have been really, really bad. Granted, like you said, bad, horrible fixtures.
Yeah.
They
played the best of the best teams, okay? They played, last week they were playing the champions, right? The week before that, they were playing, City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea. I think you got to give, and also we got to just remember how bad Burnley are, right? I mean, if not for Sheffield United, everybody would be targeting Burnley. It's just that people have forgotten. And because people like you own Bowen and didn't get anything against Burnley, so you again sort of let that cloud your judgment. But this is a really bad team. Mm-hmm. They don't keep clean sheets. They can't defend.
True. Brentford haven't been keeping clean sheets. So it could be an open game, like, I don't know, a 1-3 or something like that.
Burnley haven't kept a clean sheet since game week 14.
When has Brentford kept a clean sheet? Enlighten me, Siva.
But you're not owning Toney and Wissa for clean sheet points, are you, mate?
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's true. Yeah, fair point.
Yeah. And if they're conceding goals, they need to score more, so.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I mean, if I was on free hit, I would definitely. Brentford has the easiest fixture of the four fixtures.
So activate free hit, wait. Okay, anyway, I'll move on, right? Since you alluded to it already, right? Brentford can't defend according to you, and they don't keep clean sheets.
Are you gonna mention? Let me guess. Are you gonna talk about David Datro Fofana?
Yes, David Datro Fofana, mate. And this is where your and my footballing knowledge comes in, right? Because we've been watching comps of Norwegian, Elite Siren 2021. We've been watching. He did some interesting stuff at Union Berlin early in the season. I think didn't work because attitude problems or something like that. He's obviously a Chelsea player.
This season.
Tough season, yeah. But a Chelsea player on loan at Burnley. If again, we're talking about free hit, right? And like you can only do this kind of spicy stuff on free hit. You would never own a David Datro Fofana in a normal.
Yeah. Correct. 100% agree.
Okay. You're not sold, huh?
I'm not. I'm set. I've decided. I've made my bed, and I'm gonna lie in it. But if you were on a free hit, go for it. I think you can look at it. There's no wrong or right way to play FPL, man. That's what I'm saying.
Don't give me all these platitudes, mate. Like let's
not.
It's
the truth. right? If you want a free hit this week, go ahead. If you don't want to, because you look at your team and you feel it's happy and you feel like you can save the free hit for another week, then don't free hit. You know
I'm
what I mean?
sorry, mate. There is a wrong way to play FPL. It is when you're walking into a game week with 6 people, you have a chip that allows you to get 11, and you're like, nah, man, I'm good. You know?
No, man, I'm good. I'm good. I'm gonna use my free hit. I kind of talked about this with you. I'm gonna use it in game week 38. Yeah, that's my plan right now.
Okay.
Last game week of the season. That'll be a future pod.
Yeah, but I think we'll get your mind changed yet, because we still haven't talked about other forwards, because you're not convinced by Wissa, Tony, Carlton
See
Morris,
what?
mate.
I'll just tell you now. You can keep trying, but nothing's gonna change my mind because there's nothing that you're telling me that I didn't already think about. I've already thought about all these guys, man. It's not like you're giving me new knowledge.
Yeah, but there are weaker people than you listening to this pod.
Okay.
People who may give in to temptation the way that you are refusing to, right?
People who didn't realize that Johan Wissa scored 3 in a row. People didn't realize that Datro Fofana is actually playing quite well for Burnley. Maybe their best player right now. Not that.
Yeah. Datro Fofana, all jokes aside, the only thing that puts me off is just that his returns are really like patchy, and his goals. I mean, even the goal last week against West Ham was like a wonder goal, right? And I kind of like my guys to score basic, boring. Like I like Johan Wissa's goal. He's chasing down the keeper. He gets it off him. Like that's what I like. Like those are repeatable goals. I don't really think Datro Fofana scoring a worldie is something that's a guarantee.
What about Fulham? What about Muniz? 4.5. Although, if you're in a free hit, it doesn't matter. But yeah.
Tough fixture, right? I don't know. Is Spurs good defense, bad defense? I
don't know. I guess of all the teams they are playing, they have the best defense, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I know Van de Ven is injured again. So
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but strikers kind of dire, I think, for this week. Not
No. Carlton Morris. I want to talk.
I already have, yeah.
Because a lot of people
scored like weeks in a row and then decided to blank into fixtures in my double game week.
Which is a perfectly fine, because he's setting a trap. See, he blanked in the double, so now free hitters are going to go without him. But he was the biggest XG underperformer for the double, 0.88 XG, still decent. Minutes are guaranteed. Luton have nobody else anyway. Forest are bad. The only thing I worry about Luton is tired, right? I mean, they played a day and a half ago, and then they go again tomorrow. We're recording Friday, and they go again on Saturday.
Yeah, but I don't know. Carlton Morris seems like the kind of guy who, not that I know him personally, he looks like the kind of guy who doesn't get tired.
Yeah, I mean, he's just kicking a ball, mate. How hard can it be? How tired can you get? Yeah.
Just run for 90 minutes, man. It's not that hard.
On pens as well. I mean, always like a good safety net to have, I think.
Yep. That was my thinking when I went with him last week as my captain. My differential captain didn't work out as well as yours, Siva, but still. I think the logic behind it was good. On pens, Luton tend to score as they should. They can score. Scored 3 goals, but just, Morris wasn't involved in any of them.
To be fair to you, I mean, Morris has an FPL team, and he didn't bother transferring himself in. Like, he brought in Tahi Chong, and Tahi Chong scored, and he didn't bring himself in. So,
should have saw the signs.
Yeah, man. But let's talk about Forest, because I think Forest is what if I could predict their lineup, I totally have a striker from Forest, but I can't, and that's really annoying me, right? It's not just forwards, right? Even the mids. Like, I want Ilanga, I want Hudson-Odoi, I want Awoni.
Ilanga's nil, right? Ilanga is nil.
He didn't start last week, though.
There was some other issue, right? If I'm not mistaken.
No, just basically thought tactically he could somehow not start Ilanga, not start Hudson-Odoi. He's starting Divock Origi at right wing.
I up until last week, I forgot or did not realize that Origi is even playing for Forest, man.
He's been awful. I mean, I would love to have Ilanga, because one of the reasons I picked Semenyo last week also was I noticed that Luton, especially suffer on the break a lot, especially as the game goes on. Alfie Doughty, who is very decent attacking wise, has no legs, and as the game went on, he just couldn't do anything. So the last 2 goals, he gives up. He gives up. So a Forest winger makes sense, and Ilanga or Hudson Odoi. Hudson Odoi really I like because that's like uber differential, like, and in decent form. Again, before he was rested last week, seems to be doing quite well on bonus as well, like a few double-digit hauls.
Yeah.
So since you're not on free hit, okay, but this maybe you tell me, like how risky do you go on free hit? Do you go for somebody who not nail for 90 minutes, not nail the start, it's just complete punt?
It's tough, right? I think if I was on a free hit, I would go risky. Because they're only there 1 week. And if you made a bad choice, so be it. It's not like you're stuck with them in your team with a player who is, won't be getting proper minutes moving forward and you have to transfer them out. It's just a 1 week thing. And yeah, might as well. I think I like that. I would take a Forest winger. I would go Ilanga, but I think it's more of my MU, United loyalty, ex-United player. And to be fair, he has been doing quite well as well for Forest. So yeah, I like it.
Forest winger or Carlton Morris?
That's a tough one.
I know. I'm facing that same conundrum right now.
Carlton Morris, because Luton plays at home and on pens.
Yeah, hard to argue against that.
I think the pens just like nudge it just a little bit,
Yeah. A guarantee of 90 minutes and pens is always hard to argue, no matter how tired he is. Unfortunately, forwards, like you say, not many other options. Timo Werner was someone I'm really interested in, and if I could, again, minutes is the only concerning thing. I was surprised he didn't start last week, even though he scored.
But Brandon Johnson has been playing really well. And if I'm not mistaken, the news is that Richie is going to be back this weekend. I don't think he'll start. He'll probably come on, I think. But that further complicates things. So
yeah, it's really nice because Werner was, again, somebody I had in mind for this week. And I still think he may return, but it's one of those, I don't like not having minutes.
I mean, similarly, I think Brandon Johnson is a good punt. But again, minutes, Werner could start in his place. If Richie plays, then Sun moves to the left, and then none of them start. So it's just a big minefield right now. I think Sun and Madison, is safe. And it's not to say they're in bad form. They're both in great form. So Sun and Mats.
Yeah, Spurs section, I think we can spend all of 2 minutes here. You 3 people on free hit, Sun, Mats, Poro, right? Easy.
Yeah. A lot of people looking at Poro, not forgetting about Destiny Udogi. I think he actually has been playing quite well since I don't know what is it, the dynamic. I'm not that I don't watch as many Spurs games maybe as I should, but it seems from what I've seen that since Sun has come back, he has been a bit more attacking. Somehow he has a better dynamic than who was playing in Sun's place. Yeah.
Wasn't it Werner? Yeah, it was Werner.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And I think partly Poro's appeal has dented because since Madison came back, he's been sharing set pieces again. Because he took a lot of the set pieces while Madison was out. I was a happy Poro owner, before his injury. So I still think he's a good pick. But, if you want to go a bit more differential, because it seems like everyone's going Poro, Destiny Udogi.
What about Christian Romero, who seems to be slightly better on bonus?
Yeah. I know he's improved in his cut thing, but I just can't shake it off. I know he's improved. Like he's really, and he actually said it in an interview recently, if I'm not mistaken. Something he put conscious effort in. I don't know. I would always back, a fullback, a wingback over center, unless they're really mopping up all the bonus and they're significantly cheaper and have good goal threat. But in this case, I think I will go either Destiny or Poro.
Yeah, I mean, I can't ever recall it going wrong when people have gone for the fullback instead of the centre back. No recent memories come to mind. Um, let's talk about. I mean, there's no one else at Fulham apart from Muniz. West Ham Villa. Okay, so this is really interesting, right? Because a lot of potential picks here, but also could go really wrong because you can't really call this fixture. Both of
Yeah.
them quite. I mean, we spoke a lot about Burnley, but I mean, the fact that West Ham drew 2-2, needed to come back from behind against Burnley, uh, very, very poor. Just scraped a point at the last minute. And Villa, of course, got smashed by Spurs. Don't have John McGinn, suspended for this one. Um, Injury hit squad, but still smashed Ajax. And West Ham
West
beat
Ham.
Freiburg
Yeah. So
5-0. Really hard
I
to
would say
call.
this is probably the only interesting match this week.
Yeah, it's the El
Good
Clasico of this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bowen from West Ham, of course, and Kudus. I still think Kudus is a great pick. Cheaper than Bowen. Not that it matters if you're on free hit.
But rank them because I'm struggling to choose two between Bowen, Paqueta, and Kudus.
Kudus, Bowen, Paqueta. There's also talks that Paqueta had a small injury, but not confirmed. Yeah, he came off early, but people are saying, oh, he had a small injury and he was taken off early to be cautious for this weekend's game. You never know, right? What might happen.
My only concern is Paqueta. Well, before the suspension was taking pens, and I would be quite annoyed if I missed out on a Paqueta penalty. But then again, Emi Martinez in the other goal, so maybe that is just as well.
There's a
Do
pen
you?
miss.
Yeah, but do you rate West Ham mids above Villa mids, specifically Bailey and Lewis?
Marginally, only because West Ham's at home.
It's a stadium,
No.
mate, and
No, but that it is. Villa play better at home, and they don't play as well when they're away.
not anymore, mate. Their home record's gone to pieces. We are speaking 6 days after they lost 4-0 at Villa Park.
This is one game, right? Aside from that game,
their recent home form has been pretty poor in the last few weeks. Also lost 3-1 to Chelsea in the cup at home.
That's true. So are you saying their away form is better than home form now? I don't know.
I'm saying,
yeah. Go ahead, Siva.
Look, it's Olympic Stadium, right? So if you were to talk about the least imposing venue in the league, it's probably that, right? Big corporate stadium next to Westfield, the people coming out of Nando's, and like, there's no soul there.
If Watkins doesn't play, do you think that affects the other Villa assets without their main guy up top? Will they play worse?
They got John Duran, mate. They don't need Watkins. I don't know. I wonder. It's hard to assess, right? But I come back to what West Ham did last week. Was they were just really, really, really poor against Burnley. So Villa, okay, Watkins being out would be an issue, but
West Ham is really Jekyll and Hyde, I feel. And it's not correlated to home, away, and stuff like that. They just like at any performance, they could be good or they could be really bad. And you just don't know what you're going to get. But even then, I think Kudus has been consistently good.
He's been, I mean, his recent FPL returns have been pretty patchy, I must say.
On the grass. Eye test.
Okay. Yeah. The goal against Freiburg was amazing, so that's fair.
Kudus, Bailey, Bowen, Paqueta, and Lewis tied. That's how I would.
Kudus and Bailey. Okay, I like that. One thing about Leon Bailey, and people may not know, is that John McGinn and him typically split set pieces, and so McGinn being out means more set pieces for Bailey. But
you don't know that for sure, right? Because McGinn being out, I would assume who comes in his place.
They've got they're down to. I'm not going to get this name right. Irobigunum. I apologize.
I mean, you never know because it could be a site like on the right, they let Bailey take it kind of thing. So not necessarily that just because McGinn is out that he would take. They might get someone else on their preferred leg or something. I don't know. To be fair, I have not done research on this. I don't know if it's to do with their preferred leg and stuff like that.
Yeah, but irregardless, right? Leon Bailey is in great form anyway, so
yeah, I agree.
You'd fancy that. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
Kudus, Bailey.
If Emerson's not back, then Leon Bailey is up against Aaron Cresswell, who
was really good FPL asset once upon a time. Now he's just really slow.
I mean, 10 years ago, yes, but we're not there yet. I mean, some people have talked about Cresswell on free hit because he did score this week against Freiburg as an Emerson owner. Maybe you've been thinking about that left flank of West Ham. Maybe you were targeting it already.
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I think irrespective of who he comes up again, he's just been in great form. I would say that we're talking about Bailey, right? It's just kind of like
We're talking about Aaron Cresswell.
Yeah, Bailey. Yeah. So I think I'm happy with him. I was going to say that I would be happy with him moving forward, but actually Villa has kind of bad fixtures coming up.
No, their fixtures after this are horrible.
Yeah, so maybe free hit is the way to go.
Okay. So priority, right? To reiterate, you say Kudus, Bailey, Bowen, Paqueta, and Luis, right? That's how you're ranking them. Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Okay.
Is it interesting? Isn't that?
It is. Honestly, it's doing my head in because I really want to go without Bowen on free hit, but that makes no sense. And I'm struggling to.
Kudus, you're fine.
No. I mean, people had some Solanke last week and they thought they were fine. They didn't, You never find me. People like you had Carlton Morris.
Over Bowen is the equivalent of going Semenyo over Solanke.
But I had both. See, I had safety. I like to gamble, but I like to have a backup plan.
Thank you both.
Yeah, it's tough to.
Let's put it
this way. Yeah, because once you have Son and Mats, and I don't have enough minerals to go without Son and Mats. That only leaves you 3 spots. And if you add a Forest mid because you want to target Luton, then you're down to 2 spots.
Bowen and Kudus.
No man, I don't.
Oh, you want one from the other side? You want like Bailey and Bowen or Bailey and Kudus?
Yeah, and I'm sure other people on free hit have the same issues I have, and I think when you add all those up, the plan that makes the most sense is to drop the Forest mid because that is the worst team, regardless of the fact that they're playing Luton. You are picking a mid from the worst team, the worst attacking team, with the least certain minutes under the most boring, bald, boring manager. Right? No offense, no, but yeah. I mean, so I think along those lines, yeah, having 3 people from Villa, West Ham, and at least you enjoy the game. You hope for goals and you give yourself a chance.
Okay, yeah, I agree. Do that.
Very sensible. Okay, let's wrap up by talking about defense. Nobody's keeping a clean sheet this week, right?
Yeah, which is why I kind of don't care. Right now, I have 3 defenders who are playing: Doughty, Reguilon, Emerson. Emerson and Reguilon are yellow flagged. I don't care. They cannot play it. I bet I'll still get the same amount of points.
I think you're missing out though. I mean, you don't have
Porro. I don't have a Spurs defender. Okay, I'll give you that.
Don't have Porro. You don't have Mads Roslov, who's been in decent form.
I mean, if Reguilon plays, then it's fine.
Yeah, if Reguilon plays, big if, right? And you don't have. Well, you have
not that big of an if.
You have Alfie Doughty, I take it.
I do.
For hopefully he doesn't concede 4 goals in 45 minutes again.
I'll take a 3-pointer. 1 assist, concedes 4 goals, 3 points.
Talk to me about keepers, because I know it's not interesting to you, but on a free hit, I'm pretty.
On a free hit, okay. On a free hit, I would say Flecken.
Okay, I know you're going to say Flecken, and I have Flecken in my current free hit team. But one thing I'm worried about is this is typical free hit scenario, right? Everybody else owns Areola, uh, and they're going to start him, and somehow he's going to come out with 10-pointer, make
Oh yeah,
101
pen
saves,
safe kind of thing. Yeah.
pen save. I mean, if Watkins recovers, he can't take pen, so he'll miss the pen, knowing my luck. And yeah, that's the one thing I'm concerned because not like if Flecken has a great track
Oh,
record. He's
hang on.
been
If
pretty
Watkins
awesome
doesn't
anyway.
play and McGinn is not playing, who takes the pen?
And Doug Luiz takes pens, man. What are you talking about? Doug
Oh
Luiz always
yeah,
takes pens.
sorry. What am I thinking? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Would that be nice
Unfortunately.
if you're like as a non-Douglas Luiz owner and an Areola owner? That'd be fun.
Yes, that's my concern, right? Like free hitters, do you just go with Areola just to cover your bases? Like can't go that wrong.
I don't know. I will go Flecken. But okay, if you already have a Brentford defender, then I don't think you need to double up,
Mm,
right? Like, I mean, it's Brentford, so.
I feel you. I feel you. One last thing. I think we'll wrap up. Captaincy. This is easy, right?
The logical thing to do would be to captain Sun. That would be the logical thing.
That's my Korean. Okay, there we go. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm ready.
But you know, if you are addicted to differentials, which I am, and I think Siva is now after your Semenyo haul last week. You're chasing the
Okay.
high again, aren't you, Siva? I can see in your eyes.
Oof.
I had
So who's
that
the
when I
differential?
captained Foden like 2 weeks back, you know?
We didn't record after that. Yes, Foden captain 2 weeks ago for a very very big haul. Yes.
15 when everyone else blanked. But yeah, so who would be the differential captain, Siva? Since you're on a hot streak now of 1.
I think it has to be Tony or Wissa. And yeah, I mean, I can't see either anyone else being a captainable option. No, it's got to be Tony or Wissa. Again, if we knew a Forest nailed attacker, I would consider it, but we don't. So yeah, Tony or Wissa.
Kudus? No? Bowen?
I mean, Villa's bad, but currently bad defense. But I wouldn't captain against Villa. No.
Okay, fair enough.
I think Tony. I mean, Tony, yes, form's been questionable, but pens, free kicks, easy fixture. Wissa is the proper
Would you
Maverick pick.
captain like Madison over Sun? Just to get a bit of differential, but you still want to get into the Spurs action.
Nah, I mean, you're captaining a Spurs player, you captain the best player. Like, I mean, okay, yes, granted, it worked for you with Foden and Haaland, but I think that.
No, but that was
more
logical,
to-
you know. That was like
Yeah.
I figured that Haaland would get locked down a lot, which will open up space for Foden.
Yeah, I don't
Which
think
actually
Son
kind of
gets.
worked out exactly as how I thought it would. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Son has that same risk. I just think Fulham's a hard fixture. I think Craven Cottage is not an easy place to go to. So that's probably, if I were to go against Son, it's just because Spurs in general have a harder fixture than Brentford, but obviously Brentford, much worse team. But yeah, you're sort of getting me maybe Johan Wissa captaincy. Why not? Life is short, isn't it?
Yeah. You're addicted to the high, Siva. In the first half of the season, when every time you record the pod, you're like, no, you got to captain the high EO guy and stuff. All about the EO. Then you had
Yeah,
the taste of the differential life, Siva. And now you're addicted. Look at you.
I don't like this. It's quite scary.
Yeah,
But how
okay.
bad can it be, right? Because
Yeah.
I own Sun, you own Sun. I mean, you've got some protection there.
How bad could it be, right? Except, your son has a really big haul and Wissa gets nothing. His EO for captaincy for Sun, I think this week will be through the roof because he'll be like the only premium player that is playing this entire week.
I mean, Solanke was, I'm sure, like 100% plus EU. You can't live in fear, my friend.
I'm not. I'm just saying. You asked me what's the worst that can happen. That is the worst that can happen.
Okay. Yeah, I'm starting to feel a Wissa captaincy. I'll sleep on it.
Go for it, Siva. I will probably
need to buy a. So far as that plan. No, I'm
I
getting
don't
a
have the benefit of a free hit and having like 11 players playing and stuff, I just got captain what I have, and Sun is one of my 5 players playing this week, 6 players. So
excuses, mate. All excuses. You got transfers. You just got to use them.
yeah.
All right.
Alright.
So I think we've managed to stretch quite a bit of content out of 4 matches, which is a testament to how much we can go on.
Oh yeah, 40 minutes.
Yeah, but we'll be back next week because it's international break. Of course, we need an international break right now. So Game Week 30 in 2 weeks' time. But in the meantime,
Get your green arrows, guys, and we'll see you in our next episode.